You're a yummy cup of pineapple juice. Yes, you are. 3 ice cubes in you. We're going to look at the $7 trillion market cap target for the crypto industry. It is very important and critical to understand these. This is how you reverse engineer price targets. And yes, it is voodoo science, woo-woo, voodoo, mama, juju, going around black magic, shaman stuff. Yes, it is, friends. Of course, we're drawing squiggly lines. But I want to start the preface by telling you, okay, people in the past who ignore the squiggly lines from before them, they always get destroyed. Always. In every single cycle we've had, yes, we don't have 1,000 data points, but we saw it happen in 2016. We saw it happen in 2020 cycle, okay? So in 2016, if they ignored what happened in the cycle before, they got wrecked. In 2020, if they ignored what happened in the cycle before, they got wrecked. So now we're moving on now. Now we're in cycle 4. We've got 3 data points to look through. We can see this, all right? Now we're going to quickly look at this, and it's going to be very important to observe. Now, the main chart we're going to be looking at, friends, while I play some nice gentle angel music to smooth it over, it's the total crypto industry. So firstly, you notice it's going up, okay? It's going up to the right. That's all you need. You're like, sweet, okay, it's going up. Now, what you can do, friends, is this is a log chart. You can go back to the previous cycles. This was where the top is. Now, you don't have the earlier data on TradingView. So this is where the top is when China banned Bitcoin for like one of the 30 times. You draw it from the top, around the bottom, and you get this Fib extension that you can go up. All right. Now, if you notice here, we stopped at number 2. Okay. This cycle stopped at number 2, the 2.6x extension. If you walk forward to our diamond hand cycle, the 2021 cycle, you do the same thing. This extension down here, see, from the top to the bottom of the industry. If you go and see where it landed, it stopped here at only the 1.6x extension. Now, why do most people screw up, friends? Well, most people, if you look at their targets for crypto, all right, if you look at their targets for crypto, they were standing up here expecting that, this is May 2021, Dogecoin Mania right here. We're expecting that we were like, no one really thought, all right, we're going to hit this extension fully. But they thought you're going to diminish a little bit. You know what I mean? You're not going to do it the whole way here. You're still going to get around here, right? Now, this distance is fatal. All right, it's literally fatal, friends, because what everyone was waiting for was about another 5x, which is around the calculations of, it was around Bitcoin 180 to 250K back then. They were expecting about that. It was expecting around Ethereum $14,000 to $20,000, somewhere around there. The whole industry to be around, at least above 10 trillion, at least above. So you have to go like at least a 3x above, around a 3x above what it did. So remember the Bitcoin price high was only like 60K in April 2021. So you do a triple on that, you got about 180. So that's what everyone was expecting. And why were they expecting it? Like I said, because the previous extension, they went up to this zone. They're like, okay, we're going to diminish a bit, but we diminished a lot. And this is with infinite QE. This is with 0% interest rate. This is with Elon Musk shitting. Okay, so that's very important. Now we have where we are today. And you can draw the same fib. You draw the same fib extension, but where does it land us? The 1.6x extension is 7 trillion. Now, I've got to remind you, that is no diminishing. So we did this exact extension in the last cycle. In our diamond hand cycle, okay, we did this exact, we got to the 1.6 cents. So if we got there again, we're around 7 trillion. What does 7 trillion mean? Well, what you can do, friends, is you can go to the Bitcoin dominance and you can just estimate where these prices land. So if you have a $7 trillion industry, you can say, okay, you can think, okay, so you don't know what this is going to do, right? But if it repeats the past, you go, oh, maybe Bitcoin dominance is around here in the cycle, maybe 35%. So you do 35% of a $7 trillion industry, and then you will get the market cap of Bitcoin. And I found the actual prices. The price they land at is, okay, Bitcoin is $116,000. So, of course, you got to give some leeway. Maybe Bitcoin dominance is a bit more, a bit less, whatever, $116,000. You also get, friends, Ethereum, 14,500. So if you'd like to know where the Ethereum number came from, you can type in the Ethereum dominance, right? The Ethereum dominance, and it's around 17%. So, I mean, I just did this as a rough guess. It goes up to 25% in the bull market, okay? It's not even the top. The top band, it was like 30% of the industry. So we don't know, friends. It could always go down, man. Something else, Solana can like flip Ethereum. That's another scenario. That could happen, right? But if well, I'm just giving you examples out here, right? Just throwing out random things can happen. But if Ethereum, let's say it does get the Ethereum ETF and money pushes it up like it did Bitcoin, okay, you got 25%. And then you do 25% of a $7 trillion industry, you got 14K. You do have your $14,000 there of your ETH. Now, what I was also interested in that $14,000 number is if you do Fib extensions of Ethereum, right, which is here. I remember this is Ethereum's first cycle, right, where it went to. Where it actually went to, it went around the 2.6 to the 3.6. You see this? It landed exactly in the middle, around the middle, right? Remember this, the 2 to 3 number. Now, what I'm going to do is show you where would landing around between the 2 and the 3 land in this time. I mean, this is shocking because it would be exactly around $13,000 to $14,000. All right, that's where it would land. And see, so that's like 2 points that's showing us, oh, okay, this $14,000 number mark, that might be Ethereum where it lands. Obviously, we want it to be a lot more. But interestingly enough, what I've done is I've shown you what the ratio is here in my post as well, and it would be about 0.125. Now, remember, that's a very important ratio to learn in crypto. Why? It's just showing you how much Ethereum is versus Bitcoin. Remember, Ethereum is like the risk-on layer 1 smart contract platform. It's the risk premium pretty much on top of Bitcoin for like risk-on sentiment. It's a basic gauge, okay? It's a basic gauge. It's not perfect, but it's basic. So where would 0.125 land? It's around there. All right, now this dashed line is the flippening. So if it gets above here, Ethereum is worth more than Bitcoin. And it almost hit there in 2017. So if we got in this cycle, we end up here, this is the top. All right, you see that? That's like that's the top. Now up here, I guess everybody's going to be calling for a bigger flippening. They're going to go, hey, we're going to go flip it now. But we might actually find that, oh, okay, we got to go through before we go up later on. This is years, by the way, so don't think this is like easy. But that's where it might actually land to kind of do this third cycle cursing of sorts, right? So third cycle curse somewhere along the line. Remember, friends, all of it, you're making all these assumptions. Like anything can be thrown at us, all right? But those are the numbers we're looking at. Now, it's interesting to look at these because you want to play some nice pump music. We're praying for a pump, but we want more than 7 trillion for the industry, right? We want more than 7 trillion. And I'm going to get to that. And I want to just prepare you with this as well. Ethereum to that target from today is only a 4x. All right, it's only a 4x. Now, if you guys remember one of my videos, and I've left one of my charts up here, this is really important. It's the others ETH ratio. So if you go back 4 years ago, friends, exactly to September 2020 around here, look at this, September 2020 around there, right? How much did the average altcoin beat Ethereum by at the top of the cycle? Only around the 60%. So that's disgusting because back then Ethereum was $350. Ethereum did, so back then ETH did 11x, right? So it did 11x. The average altcoin only did plus 50% on that, equals 17x, around there. But Ethereum was in its second cycle here. All right, you don't have that luxury anymore. Ethereum was $350 here. Now it's $3,500. It's literally 10x higher. All right, so it's already done like 10x. Okay, so it's diminished over time, friends, bigger liquidity. So this is very important. So by the way, don't get too scared because this index is all the altcoins. And in my video, I went back and I filtered some stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I bet if you removed scams, abandoned projects, and anti-Ethereum projects, you would be able to get a pool of coins that you're picking from that just increases your odds that you didn't get wrecked. You did better than a plus 50% on ETH. And that was true. On average, Ethereum-friendly coins that were EVM, smart contract platform type of coins, and could get them on a DEX or whatever it was back then 4 years ago. Remember, there's a lot of CEX-listed coins. If you remove a lot of scams, dead coins, the EOSs, those types of things, you increase your probability of winning. Now, this is where we have to be realistic, friends. Remember I told you Ethereum, ETH doing 4x brings to 14K, around there. All right, well, if this ratio, friends, comes back around here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that distance, okay? I'm going to do that distance to show you how much distance are you going to get on ETH? About 100%. See, that's a 2x if it lands up to, so if this line goes up here, friends, so what would this line being up here, to 2x up here? It means out of the top 100 coins, and I'll show you, that's basically around $1 billion market cap or more. So these top 100 coins, if you choose any one of them at random, say everything at top 100, so we're looking at here, around $1 billion market cap, the average one, so if all their average number, they're going to be doing about whatever Ethereum does multiplied by just a 2x. Okay, so that's actually what they did last time. It was around 50%. It's a 2x from today. So 50% to 2x. It's trash. Now, because Ethereum did 11, getting, you know, almost a 2x on 11 was pretty good. Because you're getting around a 15 to 20. And then, by the way, it dropped 70% because of the China ban anyway in 14 days. Because of this freaking scam everyone killed the bull market. So that's something to think about, right? So go, wait a minute. Ethereum did a like 11x back then. But it's like it can't do an 11x again. Like you basically flip NVIDIA. How's it gonna flip NVIDIA so fast? I mean, I hope it does, but you break every exponent. You don't even diminish anymore. You do something that crypto's never done before, which is not diminished. Okay, so if Ethereum does a 4, what are we looking at? Well, most of those altcoins I just showed you, this top 100, the average is only gonna be doing like a 4 or an 8. They're going to match it, but probably let's just say an 8. They top tick around an 8x. Now, if you remember that 8x, if you've been watching my videos, friends, I've been making videos saying like, hey, the truth is, if you look at total crypto industry and how far we go from Bitcoin halving and everything in the past, we've only got about an 8x for most coins to go from here. From today, 8. Which sucks. It's 8. But, you know, we want to remove the scams, get contrarian edge, get deep value edge. That's why we're looking for information asymmetry, looking for an active community. We're looking for stuff that, yeah, you can get on chain as well. We're looking for, like you said, maybe 170,000 ETH sitting in a wallet that might pump one of the bags, right? With PulseChain and Richard Hart and stuff. Just you're looking for information edge, friends. That is the people who are going to win. They have that. And it's not guaranteed to be perfect, but that's what you're looking at. So when we go back and we look at this number, having a different perspective, it's basically, it's putting everything in line for us. If crypto truly does get to these 7 trillion, friends, and it goes up here, remember, that's not diminishing. That's actually a win. You understand? That's a win. Like I said, that's a win. W-I-N win. We've always diminished. Like if we diminish even harder, man, that'll be sucked. That's like 5 trillion. That'll be crap. Now, I'm going to draw a scenario here, which is, it is unorthodox and unexpected because I just played around with some numbers. So I'm just looking into the future and I thought, okay, man, I really believe in my loins, friends. They're printing so much money, okay? I really don't think crypto should be less than like, you know, 12 to 13 trillion. I think it should be up here. So what I did was like at least 10, you know, 10 to 14 or something up here. So what I did is, I'm going to show you, I'm going to draw. I drew this scenario where I go, well, what if next year, what if we actually get to that 7 trillion? Or maybe then this year, we get to this 7 trillion, but then we pit stop. And then we come back down. And what I've done is, I'm going to go back to the previous all-time high of like 3 trillion, right? See this line here? I'm going to draw that back down and go, well, we get this like mini bear market. Okay, I know it just sounds crazy. I don't know, friends. Just draw squiggly lines. I hope it doesn't work out. But if I drew this bear market low, which is a 50% drop, okay, which obviously crypto can drop easy. The whole industry drops 50%. What I've done is I'm going to get the fib again. And I'm going to go to this imaginary line. We hit this line and I'm going to draw another fib to the bottom here. All right. Crypto goes back to 3 trillion. Now, this is what shocked me. The 60% retrace actually lands at 12 trillion now. So I thought, well, what if we got gypped here? Some sort of dark prophecy thing. And then we went back up. And then we actually hit the real target later on. And up here, right? Up here, friends, is where everyone's expectations is for the cycle, right? Now, it does make you work for it, but that's what it would look like, right? And my friend Armadillo, who was on Ivan on Tech Show, his targets for Bitcoin and Ethereum, they need this industry size, all right? They need this, okay? So they need another, where we're doing another 2 to 3x. So his Bitcoin price was like, 240, 250K or whatever it was. His Ethereum price was like 27,000, okay? So remember all my targets. So Bitcoin, so at this 1.618 down here, this is BTC equals 116K, ETH equals 14K. That's it right now. And then up here, actually, I'm going to clone this. Up here, this would be Bitcoin, like 230K, and then Ethereum 28K. Around there. You see that? So up here first time, maybe it hits it here, comes back down, and then we go again. So in his videos, I remember when I made my large bull target for it, it's he believes this is going to be a super cycle. But not super cycle as in we just go up only forever. It's just that when you look at it on a chart from far, it does look like something like this. It goes, oh wow, you went up, you had this interim slowing period, and then you come back up and you rock it. And it looks like a super cycle up here. Like, wow, you went up like this, but you're like, no, this part was poopy. Now, I know, friends, there's guessing work here, but even if you remove all these, okay, so I've just drawn a future path. It doesn't have to play out like this, okay? So we can actually remove all these. Ultimately, 7 trillion is coming and it has to be acted on with something. You have to act with something. Like, I'm looking at these numbers, I'm like, man, I don't want it to stop at 7 trillion. I want it to be 10 to 12. I wanted to go with that another final 2x on top of that to give us that. But that's where it's obviously going to come down to, 1, how much you believe, and 2, if you really, you've been buying in the depression. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you how small, man, crypto is compared to everything else. Look at this. Stocks, by the way, these are old numbers. They're actually bigger now. I think stocks is, friends, like 150 trillion. Gold is now 16 trillion. The bond market, yeah, they're printing money, 200 trillion. Oil is 2.1 trillion. Cash, 90 trillion. Property, 200 trillion. You can see that. So crypto, man, like, I'm looking at those numbers. I'm like, bro, we should be way over 10, man, way. But then look at it. We're like, what's the actual industry really doing? We haven't done the tokenization of everything yet. And once we do tokenized stuff, okay, the industry's worth more. Does that necessarily mean, though, that those industries who get tokenized, do they start buying Bitcoin? Well, we'll see. We'll see later on, And if you want as well, friends, just sometimes you could do this other check as well. Like if you do the total crypto industry, this is a Fib extension, but it's without the log chart. You see how you hit this 4.236 extension? We literally hit it on the dot. See from the top to the bottom, hit this 4.236 extension. What you can do is, right, you can actually go from before it, friends, and then this is where everything obviously blows through the roof. This was around the high up here. This is where the numbers, that's why using a log chart helps. So this was the high back then. If you do this Fib, you're like, whoa, you blew through the roof up here. That's why, friends, 2017, see that? It just blew through all the Fibs. It was like, there was nothing that worked. It was literally crossing the chasm, okay? It was crossing the chasm. But this one was a 4.236 extension. All right. What if we did another one, This is just not, this is using not log, okay? So just a linear charts. Where would a 4.236 extension hit? It is 10 trillion, okay? So it is 10 trillion here. So, but I mean, look at this, friends. Look how close it is. Here's where 7 is. All right, here's where 7 is, and here's where 4 is. So look at that. If you think we don't diminish and we just do that, we end up here. If you think we do diminish, we end up here. 7 to 10. It looks like this is the box. This is the box. But look, man, I really want that 10 trillion. I really, really, really want it. Though, all right, friends, you're here to win. Okay, you're here to, it's about risk reward. Okay, when you are up here, when we're up here, okay, I'll pray to God we get up here. Let's say we do actually shoot up. We're like, yahoo! Friends, you are not living in a vacuum. You can't ask God, hey, give me a crystal ball and show me what happens in 12 months. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision point, and you have to say, okay, well, if I am, let's say you're here, okay, if you are wrong and the bull market doesn't continue and we come back and then do this snap part and we do that, right? this 50% drop in the total industry, that's 90% altcoins. You know that. It's like, you know, maybe we get lucky and it's not 90%. Maybe it's only 80%. That's devastating, man, because it might be a new season of narratives that continues, right? It might be a new season of narratives. It might only be stuff in the index that handles this, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the main altcoins, the main layer 1 chains. Okay, so I'm just helping you navigate these, friends. So what happens here? And then it continues up. Well, that'll be great, but you now see this point, friends. See, as it goes up, we're really going to be looking out for these signals, man. I'm hoping, man. Ty Lopez, meme coins, Coinbase App Store ranking. Like, are you going to be ready? I'm asking you, are you going to be ready? What if Coinbase App Store ranking hits #1 here and you're at 7 trillion? That's why we have these X Factor stuff to guide us. So with this power of friendship, we're going to make it. Those were the numbers. It doesn't mean they stop there necessarily, or their ratios. So just to go through it with you again, you know, Bitcoin hits 116,000, Ethereum 14,500, and yes, altcoins only do 8x from today. So Ethereum 4, these things do an 8. You're looking for that information asymmetry because, you know, if you're doing really well from today, if you're doing really, really, really well, based off the past, you would be getting a multiplier of Ethereum times like, it's actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10. 10's very rare. 10 was super, super, super rare. Super rare. You don't get 10, pretty much. Forget it. It's like 1 in 500. No one's going to get that. Okay, someone out there is going to get it, but not us probably. Even though we pray for it. But if Ethereum's doing a 4, well, a winner. Remember, altcoins doing 8. Yeah, a winner is going to be 8. You did 8. Sweet. You're following the index. But what would be better? 12, 16. Yeah, that's big. That's big. I know it does. See, I remember in one of my ultimate bull market strategy guide videos, I remember in part 2, we went, or another one, we were going through these multipliers and what the altcoins do as a function on top of Ethereum. Well, back in 2017, people got an average of 60x. And then in 2021, it went down to 16. That was a winner. So I'm talking about the winners, okay? 60x it was measuring from a certain period of time. It was measuring right before the bull market was about to snap up. So it's exactly 4 years ago and exactly 4 years before that, around there, after the Bitcoin halving-ish time. So 60 was the winner, and then that downgraded to 16. That was the winner. Now, as you get to see, right, if Ethereum does a 4, now a winner's going to be 8. Those numbers suck, man. They suck so bad. But that's it, friends. Like, there's a limited number of currency units coming into crypto, and there are too many coins. So that's why you really not everyone can win like that. We're doing our best to win. We're doing our best to win. But you understand the chaotic randomness about it. Okay, so let me know what you think about these price targets. $115,000. Something as well to think about. This is very, very, very important. So I know you look at this $116,000 Bitcoin. Let's go to the chart and let's actually draw it. This is very important, okay? Let's look at monthly chart for Bitcoin, okay? $116,000, friends. That's actually right up here, okay? It's actually right up here. Let's actually draw this line. See, it's right up here. Now, don't be complacent. Don't think, oh, we're at $116,000. If we dropped to 70, that's still a good number, because it is, 70 is still a good number, right, for Bitcoin. If we drop that much, you can't think like that. We've already shown you, we've learned together. I've told you, it doesn't matter how far Bitcoin drops. All that matters is the color of its candle. So Bitcoin going from 100 down to 70, 30% drop. That does not mean your altcoins drop 30%. They can drop 50, 80, 95%, crumble. They can, and they do. We've seen that right now. Bitcoin only dropped, friends, like 20%. We saw altcoins down 50, 60, 70, 80%. Just think about this period, for example. Look at PulseChain. Look what happened to PulseChain, friends. PulseChain from March, okay, from March. So Bitcoin went and dropped 25%. PulseChain's down 80, hit 80% down. 80%, 80, from a 25% Bitcoin drop, and just to show you, because I know a lot of people want to see the truth, right? Here we go. Here, you topped out here. You dropped 81%. This is PLS, okay? So you see that? So it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes, oh, wow, you're 100K, 80K, still good. That's only a 20% drop. Altcoins can still drop 80%, right? Now, looking at these charts themselves, like I said, yes, 7 trillion, 8, 9, 10 trillion. All that matters, friends, I'm going to have my Charmander hat, my Squirtle hat. I'm going to have all my Pokemon hats. I'm going to have everything here. We're just going to be watching and waiting. Because if we see those top singles appear, it'll be like, okay, damn, I want it higher. I got to do something now. What exactly do you do? Well, historically, what you do is, just to remind you, taking profit into Bitcoin and or Ethereum. But you might even be careful about the Ethereum one. If it's ETH BTC ratio is high, that's coming down too. So if you want the actual full number, you're like, hey, give me the full numbers. The full numbers in the past, friends. You never go wrong with half Bitcoin, half USD. That's it. 50-50. You know, that's it. If altcoins drop heaps, you deploy the USD. If Bitcoin drops heaps, okay, you could deploy it. Pretty much it. Okay, you can buy the USD to buy Bitcoin. So that is the ultimate thing. It's 50% BTC, 50% USD. I'm just hoping that, obviously, we're praying that it goes a lot further than we think on the upside. But like I said, man, like it's that pausing period, friends. It does not just give you this free pass. Like, we're not going to go to a 7 trillion and then just teleport to 10 in like 30 days. We're not going to do that. It's going to go there and do the like, and that's where you're like, oh, look at all the top signals, right? And you have to have that sense of urgency. Do you want to hold another 4 years? Right now, like I said, we're moving forward. These are not 100% concrete. A lot of us like shaman, witch doctor, voodoo magic, but we've seen these numbers here. We're ready for it, okay? Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.